What are you rooting for in baseball? Are you watching last night and rooting for the Dodgers to lose?
It is so rough in my position because I want both teams to lose in just about every series that I watch. And when you spend enough years in baseball, right, you just have enough teams that you don't like. You have enough front offices, enough players, and that it's such a horrible way to live. So what I've been trying to do for self-improvement is looking at it from the positive, which is no matter what happens in the Padres-Dodgers series, I'm a winner. So that is one, because one of those teams will lose. And no matter what happens, right, when it comes to the Phillies and the Braves, those are NL East teams who I fought against for 18 years. No matter what, one of them is going to be despondent in 3 days. So I'm really trying to change the lens through which I see the playoffs. But in terms of the quality of play, the Jordan Alvarez home run was one of the most exciting postseason walk-offs that you'll ever see. It was just unbelievable if that happened. And I want to root for the Astros because I know how much they want to win one and have there be no garbage cans. So I think Astros and Braves would be a phenomenal World Series.
I appreciate your desire to see the playoffs through an optimistic lens, but give us a hater's guide to the MLB postseason. When you're watching...
The thought of A.J. Preller winning a playoff series makes me sick to my stomach. Andrew Friedman uses money like they have a printing press in L.A., and all they do is bully teams from start to finish. And for them to be rewarded with another World Series, I want them to be known as not a dynasty, but a team that's won one World Series and that's it, where the Marlins have two. The Astros, I don't ever want them to get off the hook for garbage can. Let that be the only World Series they win. Ichiro, I love you, man. But I want there to be still teams that have never won a World Series because that makes the Marlins look better. So don't let the Mariners win a World Series. Phillies, Bryce Harper, I want it to be known that with you cannot win. Period. So the Phillies have to be eliminated. I want the Braves not to be a defending champion because they are known as the team that can win a lot during the regular season, but only a World Series once during that 14-year run and then once last year. If they are known as the back-to-back, the first one since the Yankees, that makes them a far greater story, and I want to minimize their story. That's the Hater's Guide to the postseason.
Nothing personal, though.
With David Samson, you can get it every day. The Hater's Guide. That was 90 seconds of pure acidic hate. Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at LeBatard Show. When you're rooting for both teams to lose in a game, is the only loser going to be you at the end? When you say the Dodgers bully everybody, what are you talking about there?
They have the ability to take on contracts that teams have to. When you have a bad contract and you have a low payroll, you have to trade a good player in order for them to take on a bad contract. And the Dodgers can take on every bad contract because they'll just release the player and not care. When it comes to any sort of international signs or amateur signs, even though they're slotting now, the Dodgers get extra picks. They get extra international money because not all teams can even afford to spend what their slot is. So they've always been able to overcome mistakes. This is pure jealousy, by the way. Make no mistake. They've been able to overcome all mistakes.
It's obvious, yes. They buy themselves a bigger margin for error with that regional television contract.
It's not even that. It's just they have more local revenue even in gate, right? I mean, the Braves are drawing $3 million. The Dodgers are drawing $3 million, and we wouldn't even draw, 700,000 real people.
What is at the top of your hate list? Is it the Dodgers? Because when you say you're rooting for both the Padres and Dodgers to lose, you can say that mentally, but emotionally, when you're watching the ninth inning of the game, something's happening to you. You're rooting for something to happen. You're not indifferent there.
No, I'm never indifferent. I'm rooting against the Padres.
Why?
When it comes right down to it.
Why the Padres instead of the Dodgers?
Because I don't want A.J. Preller to ever have won anything.
Who is the pitcher that was sent here that had bad medical history?
Colin Ray.
Yeah.
Nothing personal with David Samson.
Did you just bring that up, Woody, to needle him? You just
we should at least offer some context to why David hates A.J. Preller.
And by the way, I don't hate him personally. I don't know anything about him personally. I'm talking about the way he operates as a general manager. I don't want that to be rewarded.
Do you hope he gets fired?
Every day.
Nothing personal.
By the way, we talk about the fact that A.J. Preller must have photos of Padres owners. We talk about that
Owners.
long before the ESPN article came out because he has survived in a way that no other GMs would ever be allowed to survive.